nearly 50 years, the Omaha Bar Association has been starting off its annual events with a barbecue gathering. This year, we are going to miss the barbecue and the corn on the cob and the cornbread and coleslaw and the wonderful desserts. We're going to miss the live musical performance. We are going to miss the outdoor patio where we used to gather with the new members of the bar, welcoming them into the embrace of the Omaha Bar Association. We will miss seeing the familiar faces that we have seen year after year after year. It has been a tremendous highlight, largely due to the generosity and the hospitality of the First National Bank and the officers of that bank who have graciously welcomed us now for almost 5 decades. Because of occupancy limitations and the pandemic, the bank is unable to host us, and we are nonetheless grateful for the relationship that the Omaha Bar Association has enjoyed with the bank over these many years. To all of you who are members of the Omaha Bar and who will not be able to see each other this fall, it was going to be on September 10. Please know that Dave Summers and I miss seeing you, and that we are very eager to have our first in-person social event of the year. We will do that when it is safe to do so.
My name is Tom Gahn, and it's been my pleasure to be involved with the Omaha Bar Association kickoff for the past 37 years. I'm now retired, and I'm giving a few reflections on the party overall. We'll let Terry McNamara tell you all about the beginning years, but I picked up in 1982, and I had a rather auspicious first year because they didn't tell me that the guys we hired to come in from Keokuk, Iowa, the farmers, and then later their wives would show up. They didn't tell me that we always gave them a fifth of whiskey at the beginning of the day. So they were in a bad mood. I didn't know to give them any. By the end of the night, they were really kind of jerky about it. I didn't know what was wrong. So what happened was, at the end of the party, they threw the hot grease down the plaza fountain. And of course, I had hell to pay with the building manager. It cost the bank over $3,000 to clean it out. Exit the pig swine diners, and in come Hap Abraham crew. Hap Abraham enhanced the party greatly. He gave us a full menu, and we went to a full bar, not just the kegs of beer that we had started with the first number of years. So the party became better overnight. The First National Bank treasures this event immensely. The association with the bar and the bank has been long established. A lot of business goes back and forth between the bank and the bar association. A lot of loyalty both ways that took many, many years to develop. And the Lauritsen family, now Clark and before it was Bruce, values that greatly. It would be interesting to note that somewhere along the line, Bruce Lauritsen said, hey, we should have the same thing for the doctors, the medical society. This would be great. Well, we tried it. Pete Zandbergen, a fellow officer, and I put on an event for the doctors, and they didn't really come in very big numbers. They didn't have the social skills that the lawyers have. You know, that great social ability that lawyers have to argue all day long, but come in at night and socialize. They sure didn't have that. Somebody told me, well, you know, Tom, they're used to the dinners that the pharmaceutical companies give, and there's no check from the bank at the end of the night. But anyway, it was fun, and we had a good, cordial group of doctors. But that's about all we got from the medical society. But the association with the law professors at Creighton and with the Omaha Bar Association's judges that carry into our territory, it has been a thing to marvel at. And I really do think that that is such an important part of why this has worked for so many years. 2020 will long be remembered as a very, very strange year, but it'll be remembered by me as the year that this 50-year tradition just missed, and we'll have to carry it on to next year. One other interesting thing was the great dean of the Creighton Law School, Pat Borchers. He came to me and said, Tom, I would like to have the law students come to the event. I think it would be a lot of good experience for them to mix with the lawyers, to see how it is to be a lawyer. And he thought that would be a good idea. Well, the bank loved it, and the bank implemented it when Pat suggested it. The interesting thing for me was that the law students, when I'd go on orientation and invite them, they were very excited because I invited them to basically a party. I said, this is all you can drink, all you can eat, and all of that kind of chivalry that goes on. Well, Pat Borcher said, Tom, I really don't want them to come to a party. He says, I want them to go have a learning experience. And I told him, Pat, when I go to that orientation, I have to tell you, it's a lot more fun to invite somebody to a party than it is to a first meeting. And so we had a good laugh over that. It's sure been a valuable thing for me to be the chairman of this event for some 4 decades. I've learned a lot. I've had so much fun. And the biggest change I saw over those 4 decades is the amount of alcohol consumption. We kept a lot of records over the years. And in the 37 years I've been involved, drinking is much less than half, maybe as much as a third of what it used to be per person. That's a big social change over many, many years. And I might also say it has been a good change. The party ends a little earlier at night than it used to end. And finally, the social changes of all of those years. So many more things to do now, events to get to the kids too. And still, this event has held up extremely well over the years. It's been a lot of fun. And the future of the event, I think it's a great future. Clark Lawrenson is so true to the 6 generations of presidents, and I believe that First National Bank will continue to be very, very supportive of the event, and hopefully the bar will find a value in it as well. And so I lift a glass, half empty glass or half full. I like to think it's half full for the future of the OBA First National Bank relationship. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
It was back in the early 70s when First National Bank had newly arrived on the north side of Dodge Street at 16th with a brand new building. The management, John Lauritsen, had wanted to show off the building, and we invited all the lawyers to a September event shortly after our arrival. It was a ton of fun, and it became an annual event. It was very enjoyable. The bank, John Lauritsen, wanted to show off the bank, and we did. We had a hog roast right out there on the patio, and we had drinks hosted by the bank initially, and then we had a great time. We did not have any formal meeting. We just had a lot of fun. That went on for a number of years, actually, to the extent that I was responsible for that first one, or the first several. Things went wonderful. Even when it was pouring rain, we moved inside. We had the dinner in the middle of the bank lobby, and prior to the dinner, we had cocktails served at the various teller windows. That was unusual, and again, a lot of fun. I did the first 2 or 3. Pat Morrow did a whole bunch of them after that, and eventually Tom Gaughan took over and did them, all of them, including the ones out on the 144th Street facility at 144th of Dodge. Although at times I even stood at the head of the stairway and greeted lawyers that came in, and they thanked me for putting this on, even though after 1985, I had no longer been with the bank. So it's been a wonderful go. The Lauritsen family has truly been a great friend of the Bar Association. John, Bruce, Clark, and we're all of them wonderful, wonderful to work with. I hope we continue this, and I'm sorry we missed it in 2020, but it's been a crazy year. It will get better. We'll get through this, and we'll be better for it in the future. Thanks so much. Bless you all.